Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas, and today we're going to be looking at a website that I recently discovered, right? It's called Yourware.so, and what I really like about this website, what I find really unique, is that it is considered to be the Instagram for vibe coders, right? So you can create, you can upload, or you can paste code, right? And share it in this platform. And if I were to scroll down, you can see here that there's a showcase for today of the best creations, right? You can see 5 different creations and one, showcase project. And then when you scroll down, you get this large feed similar to Instagram of different creations. Some are landing pages, some are games, right? Some are more advanced apps, some have APIs, for example, right? So all of these, you can see this one is actually 3D. So all of these are quite different, and you can go around and click on one of them and remix them if you want to, right? So this is a really interesting platform that I want to share with you guys today. Today I'm just gonna, look at other different examples, open them up, and show you guys what I'm talking about. And we're also gonna go all the way up here and try to create something ourselves. So if this is something interesting for you guys, stick around and let's get started. All right, let's get started and check out one of these examples. Chloe Harper, I've seen some of her projects recently, and she has really cool stuff. So I'm gonna click on this one, and you can see that this is an ancient Greek temple, right? You can see a lot of people have reacted. You can see that there's 166 views in total, and you have also the ability to remix this project, right? So in this case, I'm just gonna interact with it to see how it looks like. You can zoom in, zoom out, right? And you can read about this structure, right? So this is one way of doing it, right? This is a really cool example. And then if you like a specific creator, what you can do is you can click on their name and it takes you to their creator profile, right? So I like Chloe Harper's work, right? I actually reacted with a 100 to this one. And this is, for example, the Roman Colosseum, right? So you can also drag around, you can rotate, you can zoom in, zoom out. You even have these controllers in here. You can pause the rotation if you want. You can reverse the direction of the rotation, and you can read some information over here, right? So if you're interested in building something like this, you could remix this and, edit it to your own liking. Another project that I found also pretty cool was from Noah. It's called a Polaroid camera, and basically you have this Polaroid, very simple UI, but you can use your camera, and I'm right here. I'm going to take a picture, and it takes a picture, and then I get a little Polaroid image, right? And it basically gets stuck here, right? And you can download this to your computer, which is pretty cool, right? I have the picture over here. I can just click on it and it's downloaded right here, right? So it says the date. It looks like a nice Polaroid, and you can even print this out and put this somewhere, right? It's a nice little tool. And apart from like tools like we just saw, right, you can actually build entire landing pages inside of Yourware. So for example, this one is from a wedding, right? It has this nice little hero section with this image movement, right? It has this about us. So James and Olivia, when they were born, a little bit about them, their love story. So you can read a little bit, or you can see this kind of image gallery, and then you can scroll down and see their timeline, which has a nice little animation, plus more of a gallery. And by the way, like all of these projects are remixable. So if you like it, you can remix it and create it for your own wedding or for someone else's wedding, right? So this is one little example of how you can create landing pages. And apart from simple landing pages with simple animations, there are also creators out there that are creating really, cool stuff like this, for example. This is by Code Drops. He has a very cool profile, by the way. And if you scroll down, you can see this really nice animation, also interactive with the mouse, as you can see over here. And then if you scroll all the way back up, you can see that there's another demo that's available with another specific type of appear animation, right? And also with these different hovers, right? So you can get different types of creators in here, right? And I also saw this one, this 3D grid animations by Sebastian. And if you scroll downwards, you can also see that this text has a stunning little animation. And then you can see with the background, the images appearing and going kind of like in a 3D circular movement with this blur in animation. So it's really, truly amazing, right? And what's cool about this is, again, you can remix this specific file. You can see how it's built. And, if you're clever enough, if you like to work with AI tools, for example, you can find a way to bring these types of animations to like no code tools like Framer, for example, or even Lovable. All right, but enough of, inspiration and looking at others. Let's try to create something ourselves, right? So I'm just gonna go back to the homepage and go back to this main prompt up here. So I was deep in the feed. As you can see, there's a bunch of creators. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a very simple prompt, right? I'm gonna say, make me a SaaS landing page for a SaaS that, well, let's just say for a SaaS landing page. Let's just see how it is with a very vague prompt, right? So let's click on enter. And as you click on enter, the loading process starts and you have this nice little animation, right? And after about, let's say, less than a minute of loading, we get this nice little landing page, right? With a nav bar, right? Where we have the logo, it says Cloudflow. We use a very vague prompt, but just trying to see the results. The nav bar is actually stuck to the top, which is nice. And I do like this feature that it looks kind of like a browser. You can select certain areas, which we're going to do now. So you can select, for example, this, and we can, edit this. We can say turn the color red. In this case, we're just gonna let it go, but it has this nice little selector feature. So it gives you more of a flexible way to edit certain aspects of the UI. And then it gave us this, hero section, features, pricing, what our customers say. I like how they are, they're like stock images, but they're not the ones that you always tend to see, like from Unsplash, for example. So that's nice. So you have our testimonials, and then you have a start your 14-day free trial, which is great, and then the footer. And it also gives us this nice little color combination of blue, light blue, dark navy gray, and white and gray, right? Now, what we could do is we can also add things in certain areas, right? Let's say that I want to add some logos underneath the hero section. I can go to some website that has some logos, let's say Framer, and I can take a screenshot and go something like this. Go back to Yourware, and let's bring in the screenshot. I'm going to see if I can, we can drop it in here, which is great, and say add a logos section under the hero section. See attachment as reference. Keep it all in light mode. Right, so we can click on enter, and then it's going to take its short time to create it, and then it successfully added that section. We just have to replace the images with the images that we want of our companies, of our partner companies. But yeah, it's as simple as that. And you can also see the process, right? Code setup checked, picture found, code adjusted, file updated. Then it gives us this explanation, right? So it's very, well organized in a chronological way. Now let's say that we are satisfied with our landing page. Obviously this is just an example, but what we can also do is click on publish and then wait for it to be published. And then we have this public URL that we can easily share with anyone. We can also make it private, right? So that users can only access it with a password. And then we can open a new tab, press paste, and we'll see the landing page right over there. And in the published version, what we can do is we can click on our name, right? So I'm going to click on my name, and you can see this project that I've built. And then basically you can already start seeing that I have two views from myself. And basically what I can do here is I can click on boost, and your AI style boost magic is queued, brewing the perfect style. We just have to wait a little bit. And basically what boost does, which is actually something unique from Yourware, is that it actually uses AI to look at your project and suggest improvements in the UI, for example. So for example, this is the what it generated for the last part. Like you can see the call to action now, it has some nice patterns in the background, has a little bit of a gradient. I can see, right? The buttons are rounder, it has nice little button, check marks over here, better font, and also the footer looks very much nicer, right? With these circular little icons over here, and with this input field down here, right? And also the nav bar actually looks much better in comparison to what we had before, which was this, right? Which looks much more AI generated, looks more like a where you generate like in Lovable for the first time, right? So this boost feature is actually like my favorite feature from Yourware, right? It's quite unique from this specific website, so you should go ahead and try it out yourself. Now, another thing that I want to try out is pacing code. So if you're like vibe coding somewhere else with AI like Claude, and you create a landing page for a SaaS company, which by the way, very funny that it also generated Cloudflow. I bet that's like an AI thing. So let's just copy this and let's go into here and paste this HTML code, right? This is pure HTML with the styles on the top. And let's go ahead and continue to click here on ship it to start building. And then it says uploading 100%. Your website is live, and that was actually pretty fast. So it generates this little link for you, which you can share, or you can go ahead here and click on boost. And this is the boost, behind, the curtains. As you can see, it's starting to, first of all, give you some advice on visual critique analysis, it's called. So in terms of color, contrast, alignment, and visual hierarchy, and so on and so forth. And then it continues to edit the code. And now that the boosting process is finished, again, this took about a minute or two to complete, right? From generating the code in Claude to bringing it into Yourware and boosting the project. It took around 2 minutes in total to actually complete this. And we have a much nicer design in comparison to what we have here as the original, right? It kept the same structure, but it added a little bit more of a flair, right? In terms of shadows, in terms of images, uniqueness overall, right? So as you can see, it looks like this, right? So yeah, that's basically it from my side when it comes to adding in code into Yourware. So yeah, feel free to check it out. It's a new platform that I just recently discovered about a month ago, and I wanted to talk about it, and here I am talking about it right now. And you saw how it works. It's great. They're working hard on it every single day, right? And a lot of creators are popping onto the platform. And as you can see here, you get for every 100 views, you get $1. So it's kind of like this, little creator program that they're trying to build here. So most of these have like 700. Some of them have like, I saw one earlier that had like 9,000, which is pretty good. And they're getting a lot of visitors each month. I saw that they have for the last month about 169K, so that's pretty good. So you have a chance to build stuff here, and you don't come in with the mentality to earn money. Come in with the mentality to create, and if you create some cool stuff, eventually you're gonna get some eyeballs on this. And if you have any questions, they have a great Discord community that you can reach by clicking this button over here. They have about 50,000 people there, and they're very active. If you ask a question, they're going to get back to you in the next few minutes, right? So that's also very good to know. All right, and that's it from my side. I would be really interested to see if you guys are building stuff. Everyone that's watching this video, if you guys are, gonna go there and build stuff, please feel free to drop down your creations in the comments below. I would love to see that. Or you can join my personal Discord, where we have a bunch of creators right now. We're about 400 people in the Discord. We're a very, close community, but very active. And we create, we help, we share. So yeah, feel free to join that as well. And hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.